So in last lectures, we discussed about various system design technologies. We discussed about fixed function IC based technologies, full custom ASIC technology, semi-custom ASIC technology, and PLD technology. In PLD technology, we discussed about PLA, PAL, CPLD, which are having AND plane and OR plane for the implementation of a design. And we also discussed about FPGA. In FPGA, we have CLB and lookup tables for the implementation of our design. We also discussed that when we are using full custom, half custom ASIC, this semi-custom ASIC or PLD technologies, then we can use the HDL language for our design. Now we will start with the introduction of the Verilog language. So there are few points which we should know. HDL is used to describe hardware. So meaning of HDL here is hardware description language. So this language is used to describe a hardware. Two HDLs are IEEE standards. So IEEE declared two HDLs as standard. One is Verilog HDL and another is VHDL. So for describing our hardware, we can use any one of these two languages. HDLs are technology independent languages. Already we discussed regarding the technology independent language. Again, I will just recall you that technology independent means when we are writing the code in HDL, at that time there is no need to mention the technology in which we are going to implement this design. At the time of synthesis of the code, we mention the technology, target technology, where exactly this code is going to be implemented. So HDL is a technology independent language because the same code can be used to implement the design in technology A, technology B, or technology C, right? So HDL is a technology independent language. Now, original version of Verilog was developed by Gateway Design Automation, which was later acquired by Cadence System Design. In 1995, Verilog declared as IEEE standard 364-1995. This was the number of that standard. So Verilog declared standard IEEE standard in 1995, whereas VHDL declared as IEEE standard earlier to Verilog. In 2001, enhanced version of Verilog declared as IEEE standard 1364-2001. So enhanced version of Verilog also came and it was declared as IEEE standard in 2001. By using Verilog, designers can design a system using different levels of abstraction. So when we are using Verilog language or even VHDL also, so we can describe our hardware in different levels of abstraction. So here levels of abstraction means by different style we can describe our hardware. So for example, we can describe our hardware on the basis of functionality. Then that type of abstraction level is called as behavior level or data flow level. We can describe our hardware in terms of the interconnection of various components, how the components are interconnected. So that type of abstraction level is called as structural abstraction. So there are various methods to describe the hardware, and those methods are called as level of abstraction. The designers can model a hardware in terms of switch, gates, RTL, behavior. So we will see all these things, all these with the examples also. Now Verilog versus C. Verilog is a concurrent language, whereas C is a sequential language. So sequential language means, suppose these are the statements. So whatever are the sequence of a statement, so in the same sequence these statements will be executed. Whereas the concurrent means, suppose these are the few set of statements, and here we have written few different set of statements, right? So these set of statements describe some part of our design, and these set of statements describe some other part of our hardware. So now these two set of statements can be executed concurrently, parallelly. So this capacity is there, means execution of the statement concurrently. So this capacity is there in Verilog language or even in VHDL, whereas C is a sequential statement. Now Verilog is a synthesizable, whereas C is not. So the meaning of synthesizable means, by using Verilog code we can generate a netlist. So Verilog code can be synthesized, so we can generate the netlist. Whereas in C, if we are using the C, so C language is not synthesizable. We cannot generate netlist by using C. So now structure of Verilog module. So this is the structure of Verilog module. We write the Verilog code by starting module, by writing module, right? So module is a keyword, and end module is also a keyword. Whatever code we want to write to describe the hardware, those codes we have to write between module and end module, right? Now after module, we have to give the name of our hardware. So name of our hardware we have to, suppose this is our hardware and we are writing this is our hardware and we are writing the Verilog code of this hardware. So we can give the name to this hardware like and underscore 2, like this we can give some name to this hardware. So this name we will give after keyword module. After giving the name, we have to mention the input and output ports of the module. Within bracket we will write, right? So let us assume this hardware is connected with outside world with these inputs and with these outputs. So here this is the outside world and this is the outside world. So we are getting the input signal from here and some output is generated that we are using in our some other design. So how this hardware is connected with outside world? So it is connected with some input and output ports. So name of these ports we have to mention here, right, within this bracket. So let us assume this is input A, this is the input B, suppose this is output Z. So these names we mention here, A, comma, B, comma, Z, like this. And this statement we terminate with this semicolon. Then here we will write the declaration of input ports, right? So we declare the input ports here, we declare the output ports here. So see, here we write the names only. What are the names of the ports A, B, Z? Out of these three, A, B, Z, which are the input ports? So that we declared here. What are the output ports? That we declared here, right? And some other declarations can also be done in this section. And after these declarations, we write the statements which describe our hardware. So whatever declarations or statements we want to write, we have to write between module and end module. So this is a structure of Verilog module. Now identifiers. So here you just see this name. What name we want to give to this module? So that is called as identifier. So here we have given the name and_2. So and_2 is identifier. Same way, there may be possible that we want to declare some variables or other things. So the name given to the variables is also identifiers, right? So identifiers are the names of variable and other element in Verilog code. Following can be used for specifying identifiers. So to specify an identifier, we can use any letter, alphabet like from A to Z or capital A to capital Z. We can use any alphabet, any letter. We can also use any digit, and two special symbols are allowed for specifying identifier, and these are underscore and $sign. These are the things which can be used to specify an identifier. Now when we are using the identifier, then certain rules we have to follow. Verilog is a case sensitive, so small a is different from capital A. Alphabet or an underscore can be used as first character. So we can use either underscore or alphabet as a first character of our identifier. Subsequent characters can be of alphanumeric type, right? Subsequently we have to use either underscore or alphabet. After that we can use alphabets, numerals, or combination of alphabet and numerals, anything, or we can use underscore, or we can use $sign, right? So these are the few rules. Some examples. Following are valid identifiers. Name, NAME, small alphabets we have used. So this is a valid identifier. Underscore name, this is also valid because here starting an identifier with underscore is allowed. Then C, N, capital N, then AME, small name. This is also a valid identifier, but here you just see in A and in C. In A, the N is small, whereas in C, N is capital. So identifier NAME and this identifier NAME, both are different, both are not same, because Verilog is a case sensitive language, so both are different identifiers. Then in D, name 1. So here we have used one digit also, right? This is also valid identifier. In E, name underscore $. So underscore and $, both are valid identifiers, right? So we can use this $sign or underscore also. So these are few examples of valid identifiers. So here I am showing few invalid identifiers. $name. So this is not allowed. This is not allowed as an identifier because the presence of $ as the first character. We cannot start an identifier with $ symbol. We can start only with underscore or alphabet. B, one underscore name, not allowed as an identifier, since numeral 1 is the first character and we cannot start the identifier with numeral. C. At the rate name not allowed as an identifier because of the presence of at the rate as the first character. Then D. Name space AA is not allowed as an identifier because we see here space is also not allowed. If you write in this way name, then you give the space and A, then it will be considered as two different identifiers. One is name and another is AA. So space is not allowed. Now comment. So sometimes it is required to write the comment in your code so that your code is more understandable, right? So there are two types of comments which we can write. One is short comment, another is long comment. So short comment is written in one line and long comment is written in multiple lines. So for writing the short comment, we have to use double slash, like this. We have to use double slash. After that you can write something. So whatever you write in this line, this will be one comment and this is short comment, right? Now if suppose you want to write something for which you require multiple lines, like this, some comment you are writing, so this can be written as a multiple comment. For that you use the delimiters, backslash star. So here you have to write backslash and star, right? So this indicates the start of the multiple comment, and in the last you have to write star backslash. So this star backslash indicates the end of the multiple comment. So in this way we can write the multiple comment. So here one example is given. So I have used this delimiter slash backslash star. This is a Verilog code of a two input AND logic, and in the last I have again mentioned this delimiter backslash, this is star backslash. So this indicates this is multiple line comment. So for this comment there are two lines are there, and in this code module is a keyword. After this I have written the identifier and underscore operation within bracket A, B, Z. So I am writing the SDL code now. This SDL code is a module. Name given to this module is AND underscore operation. Right, so AND underscore operation, this is identifier. So we cannot use keyword as an identifier, right? So here keyword is module, input is also a keyword, output is also a keyword, assign is also a keyword, and module is also a keyword. So there are many keywords in Verilog. We cannot use those keywords as an identifier. So slowly you will understand various keywords. Okay, so first line is terminated by the semicolon, right? So next line we have written input. Now the module and underscore operation is having three ports A, B and Z. Out of these three ports, now I am declaring which one is my input and which one is my output. So for this I am using keyword input A comma B and semicolon. And after this I have written short comment, right? Backslash A and B are declared as input. So whatever we write after two backslash, this will be ignored by the compiler, right? This will be considered as a comment. Okay, this port you can write here as a comment, ports. Then we have written another statement, output. Output is again a keyword. So this output declares that Z is an output port, and after this semicolon and comment with backslash, two backslash, I have written Z is declared as output port. After this I have written the statement assign Z is equal to A This is the symbol ampersand B. So this symbol ampersand indicates the AND logic, right? AND logic operation is performed over A and B, and whatever result is generated, that will be assigned to output port Z, right? And after this, then this statement is also ending with semicolon. Then I have written the comment, uh, short comment. Ampersand is the symbol of AND logic and AND module. So here you see AND module does not contains the semicolon. Okay. So in this way we can write the short comment or long comment. Now white space. White space means white space characters, means the space, the gap between two identifiers, right, uh, is the white space, and the blank lines. So white space and the blank lines, right? Suppose this line, you have written some statement here. Second statement you have written after 3 lines. So there are some blank lines. So blank lines are ignored by the Verilog compiler. Same way the white space is also ignored by the compiler, right? Okay. For example, if suppose you have written like this, A, comma, B, comma, some space you have given and you have written Z. So these space, right? These space are ignored by the Verilog compiler. Now multiple statements can be written on a single line. For example, here input A, semicolon, output Z, semicolon. So this is allowed, but here although multiple statements can be written on a single line, but this code is hard to read and uses poor style. So generally we should not write in this way. We can write in this way, input semicolon, output Z, semicolon. So now this and this both style is valid, right? But if we are writing in same line, then it is hard to read sometimes, right? So that's why it is called as poor style of writing. So generally programmers, they use different line for declaring all these things. In this way they use multiple lines. So placing each statement on a separate line is good way to increase the readability of the code. Okay, so this is about some of the introduction of the Verilog module, how to write the identifiers, all these things.